Merry meet, it is Nina. You're watching Fairy Chamber channel. I thought I would make a video about Valentine's Day as part of my Finnish Pagan holiday series, but then I remembered, in Finland, Valentine's Day it's not religious in any way, it's not pagan or Christian. So I thought I'd just make a video about the history of Valentine's Day in general, because I like history. So, in Europe, the roots of Valentine's Day, they go all the way back to ancient Rome and to a celebration called lupercalia. And lupercalia was, when we translate it into English, it means the festival of the wolves, or festival of the wolf. And Rome, the city of Rome and the whole imperium of Rome, it has a very strong connection to wolves as animals, because they are the wolves, their symbol, and as an animals they are intertwined to the history and legend of ancient Rome in many different ways. And one of the famous legends tells that the foundators of Rome, Romulus and Remus, they were saved by a female wolf. And the story goes that the lady called Rhea Silvia, who was a virgin of Vesta, and she was like a priestess of the goddess Vesta. And Vesta, she's like a Roman version of Hestia, and Vesta, she was the protector goddess of women and home and things like that. And Rhea Silvia, she had a crush to Roman god of the war, Mars, or Mars had a crush on her, and that produced twin brothers. So Rhea Silvia, she had to give birth in secret because she was officially a virgin. So she had to give birth to two brothers in secret, and she put the children into a basket, and then she took that basket to the river Tiber, and she put the basket to the water, and then the babies, they went on their way, and the children, they were found by a Roman wolf goddess called Lupa. The story goes that Lupa took these two brothers to her cave, which was called Lupercal, and there she nurtured these babies. And the legend goes on that Roman god of the shepherd, whose name was Lupercus, he led one shepherd to the cave where Lupa and the human puppies were living. The shepherd, he saw these two little baby boys playing with the wolf mother, and he decided to adopt these two children, and with his wife, and later on Romulus and Remus, they became the foundators of Rome. So Rome as a city, it had long connections to wolves and legends around wolves. And Lupercus as a god, he was god of shepherds, and he was usually portrayed as a almost werewolfish animal man who wore goat skins and wolf skins and furs. And sometimes Lupercus, he was connected to Roman god Faunus, and Faunus was like a Roman parallel god to Greek Pan, the god of white nature, and so on. So they are like all connected together. And during the Lupercalia festival, which took place in 15th of February, there was these priests who were called Luperci, and that means wolf brothers, or like brotherly order of the wolf. So they worshipped Lupercus as their god, and also Lupa, the wolf goddess, as one of their goddesses. And during Lupercalia, that was a massive festival to celebrate all the wolf legends and the wolf gods and goddesses that protected Rome and the Imperium of Rome. And this holiday was celebrated all the way to the 4th century AC. Quite a long time from the beginnings of the Roman Empire, and I personally believe it might date back all the way to Etruscan times, and even before that to like totemic animistic beliefs of people that lived in Mediterranean areas, and maybe having wolf as one of their totem animals. So in this festival, lupercalia, these luperci priests, they sacrificed goats and a dog to the wolf god. I guess they would have liked to sacrifice wolves, but I guess dogs were easier to catch than wolves. And they wore wolf masks in this celebration and all kinds of furs, and they were very animal. They tried to get in touch with their inner animal, and quite shamanistic in fact. And that is the whole celebration of lupercalia, and how that was very big festival in ancient Rome. It was quite popular, and I think it's because wolves as an animals, they had really established position in culture. They were seen not directly as like a beasts who kill all the animals, but people like respected the wolf and the strength of the wolf, and the way wolf is very family oriented animal, and the way they are so fast and all the good things that wolves have. And they don't really have that kind of black and white thinking about the wolves as animals. Like I come from Finland, and there's still wolf is quite demonized animal, which is pretty crazy. Like we have 5.5 million Finns and like 200 wolves all together, and people want to kill all the wolves without any reasons, and we have more forest where wolves live than people, when most people live in cities basically. So yeah, it's quite a big cultural difference, of course. I don't know how many wolves they have in Italy at the moment, but then again, Roman Empire and Italy, two totally different things. But anyway, I always like these kind of ideas of festivals that are related to different animals. 150 AC, it was decided by the Catholic Church that now we have a new holiday. It's going to be called Saint Valentine, and it's going to be something totally different than this lupercalia where you worship wolf as your god, which I think it's so much cooler festival. But anyway, Saint Valentine, there's lots of stories in Catholic mythology and in history about priests that were called Valentine. So I believe that this whole story of Saint Valentine, it might have actually been inspired by several different people with the same name. So the most famous story tells that during the Emperor Claudius, Caesar Claudius, I think it was Claudius II, Emperor of Rome back in the days, he thought that men who attend army that were married, they were much worse soldiers than the men who were non-married, and he did not want men to get married when they were in the army. But then there was this one priest who was called Saint Valentine, who thought this was really a stupid idea. So he started to marry couples in secret. And of course, when the Caesar found out, he wasn't happy, and Valentino, he was thrown to prison. And the legend tells that people who he had married, they sent him flowers and gifts to the prison, and that started the whole gift giving on Valentine's Day. Well, I think the gift giving on Valentine's Day, it's this story, I don't know, sounds quite fake. At least the throwing gifts to prison. And I think this really overlaps several different stories of different Catholic priests whose name happened to be Valentine. Well, at least to me it sounds really like that. But anyway, then he was killed after he was in prison. He was executed. And this happened in 270. And Saint Valentine was killed. Then about 100 years later, when the Christians wanted to get rid of the lupercalia festival that was still held by the pagan wolfmen and wolfwomen, the priests they decided to canonize Saint Valentine, and this created the whole Catholic version of Saint Valentine. And it really started to evolve around this legend of this priest who married couples who wanted to get married in secret, so it became like a party festival around couples and romantic love. And really this whole story behind execution and all that, it was slowly forgotten. It's quite interesting, the whole history of Valentine's Day, the way it has developed. I think in England in 16th century it became like a recognized holiday, official day. Valentine's Day, it's not like a holiday where you don't need to go to work or to school, but it was really like a recognized holiday. And I think in France and in England it has always been more about like romantic love and couples and so on. But really, I think the highlights of Valentine's Day was really in the 19th century, when the first Valentine cards, they were printed in England, and they became quite popular. And then in the 19th century, the celebration, it traveled across Atlantic to US, where the card making process became even more massive, and it became really big like material festival. The heart became a symbol of Valentine's Day, and colors pink and red and all that, and selling cakes and flowers and chocolate. And I think in the US there's tradition of going to ice skating on Valentine's Day. All I can tell that is from the Peanuts comics. Well, I think that's quite cute. I like ice skating. Hey, I was born in Finland. Anyway, but it became really, it's a very commercial holiday. I think in general, Valentine's Day, it's a very commercial holiday. And in different countries in Europe, there's different traditions for Valentine's Day, and in some countries it hasn't really been celebrated. It's not very liked even, because it's very commercial holiday. But yeah, I was like, when I did research for this video, I read some really interesting stories about Valentine's Day in different cultures. It's quite fascinating. I think I will make a video about that. But I'm from Finland, so it's never really been a holiday in Finland. It actually arrived in its current form to Finland in the 1980s, and I think it was 1987 when Valentine's Day became an official holiday or recognized holiday in Finland. It's not official holiday because, you know, schools and workplaces and shops are open, but it became a recognized holiday. And in Finland it hasn't never been about love between couples or like romantic love. It's Valentine's Day in Finland it's ystävänpäivä, which means a friendship day or day of a friend. And it's the same in Estonia and in Denmark, and I believe it's the same also in Norway and Sweden. I'm not quite sure, but at least in Denmark and in Estonia they also celebrate Friendship Day. And with Finnish tradition of ystävänpäivä, I think it's way more broad, way more wider than the whole idea of Valentine's Day. It's quite narrow-minded, and until today it has been also quite sexist when it's about heterosexual couples. And I think in the Middle Ages it's really also about this kind of Christian belief of if you marry someone you will marry them for the rest of your life, no matter if they cheat on you or anything else. But of course now it's quite different around the world. But anyway, in Finland it's really about friendship, but it's about remembering the people you care about. So you can, I think the most common Finnish ystävänpäivä tradition is to send postcards, and I think after Christmas is the second holiday when Finns send biggest amount of postcards to each other. Hyvää ystävänpäivää, happy friendship day, I'm so happy to have you as my friend, and things like that. And it's also the second most common time of the year after Christmas when Finns send text messages to each other or Facebook or Instagram messages to their friends. And I think I really like that, the whole idea of Friendship Day. Yeah, it can be about love and romance and couples, because your spouse can also be your friend or your best friend. But it can also mean that you can call your grandma and tell how much your grandma means to you, or you can send a gift to your best friend, or you can give a card to your teacher, or just you don't even need to have a gift, because I live here in the UK at the moment. The whole Valentine's Day is all about pink balloon hearts, and like I just walked by a bookstore today, and it was like there was like books. How do you find a date for Valentine's Day and all things like that. For me it's very silly, since I think that kind of idealism, it can make many people quite depressed and really sad and quite forced to stress about Valentine's Day, or if they are single or something. It's quite sad. So in that sense I much prefer the Finnish Friendship Day, because it's all about friendship, and it can cover so many aspects of love, and you have to research the whole concept of love in a whole new level when you think about your love for your family, your love for your friends, your love for your co-workers, your friendships. What are the friendships that you value the most, and all that. So I think that's really the coolest thing about the Finnish Valentine's Day. So in Finland, Valentine's Day it's also quite commercial with the postcards, wishing good ystävänpäivää, happy friendship day, and you can literally in Finland those postcards are everywhere around ystävänpäivä, but it's not that bad because it's really not that bright, red and pink all over, small color variety. It's a quite popular day to be proposed or to get married in Finland as well, but it's not like the only thing that there is. It's like a big flower of different things, the whole concept of ystävänpäivä. I remember last year I read this article that if you have even one friend, you are extremely rich person. If you don't really have any other person who you can talk to or who you are really good friends with, it's really a bummer. Or if you have people who are fake friends, and you can really be yourself around them, that's not real friendship. But if you have a real friend, just one is enough. That is going to do really great things to your mental health and keep you insane. It's very interesting thing to read. So I think I really like the concept of Friendship Day because it makes us to think about our loved ones and people we care about, and the new friends and the old friends, and people who you want to attract, and what does friendship and what does love mean to you, because in many ways they are very close things to each other and all kinds of cool things. So thank you for watching, guys. This was very brief story about the Valentine's Day and history of it. So happy Friendship Day to all my lovely YouTube friends, and thank you for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Take care and happy Friendship Day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you are interested to learn more about animal myths and stories from the North, I have a course called People of the Bear, which is all about the bear worship in ancient Finland and different parts of the world. There are stories about bear as a celestial being and the way the bear was honored as a sacred ancestor. If you're interested, head over to my website fairychamber.com. Link is also in the description. Have a great day and make good choices. Bye!